Welcome, everyone. This deep dive is tailored just for you. Today, we're going to get into something really interesting. Gaming's secret cult classics.
Yeah, those games that, didn't exactly fly off the shelves at first.
Exactly. But they found these super passionate fan bases later on, and some even made these amazing comebacks.
We've got some great source material for this one, excerpts from a podcast script, actually. It's called Gaming's Secret Cult Classics, The Games That Almost Died.
Sounds perfect. So our mission, basically, is to try and figure out why this happens, why this delayed success. We'll look at some key games and, try to pin down what really makes a game a cult classic.
Okay, so this idea of a cult classic in gaming, the source material we have paints a really interesting picture.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It calls them underdogs, hidden gems, games that sort of clawed their way out of obscurity.
I love that description. And it mentions, like, that game your weird cousin won't shut up about.
Right. It
Yeah.
immediately gives you that feeling of something different outside the mainstream.
Totally. That feeling when you find something special. And maybe not everyone gets it,
Mm.
And the script asks the big question. What is it? What makes a game catch on like that later? Is it just nostalgia? Or
Something else. Like maybe they were just really weird, or maybe ahead of their time.
yeah, exactly.
It's probably not just one thing, right? The script sort of hints at a mix of factors.
Okay, well, let's dive into some examples, then. That should help. Let's start with EarthBound. Big one.
Oh, yeah. Classic example.
Apparently a huge commercial flop in the US back in '95. Like, stores literally couldn't give it away.
The script mentions them burying copies in clearance bins.
Yeah.
Really shows how little buzz there was initially.
Wow.
But then, the internet starts happening.
Yeah.
And fans started connecting over. Well, how weird EarthBound was.
Right. It wasn't just weird. It was uniquely weird.
Yeah.
The script mentions fighting hippies and a robot named Pooh.
Exactly. Not your standard fantasy stuff at all.
So the internet let people find each other, people who liked that weirdness.
Precisely. Sharing it, talking about it.
Yeah.
Suddenly, that strangeness wasn't a flaw. It was cool. It was the whole point.
It became its identity.
Yeah. And that online community just amplified it, turned it from an oddity into this beloved thing.
And look at it now. Nintendo re-released it. NES is huge in Smash Bros. Quite the turnaround.
A massive turnaround. It really shows how a game's unique character, even if it bombs at first, can find its audience if the fans are passionate enough.
Okay, so passion is key. What about Psychonauts? That's another one that didn't sell well, right? 2010.
Yep, another commercial flop initially. But maybe a different flavor of different compared to EarthBound.
How so?
Well, the script points to its humor and creativity. That stuff aged really well. It wasn't just bizarre, it was clever, imaginative.
Like exploring minds, right? That whole concept.
Exactly. That unique blend really stuck with people, even if it wasn't a huge seller at first. It built this really dedicated following over time.
And that following was loud enough to demand a sequel. I remember the buzz for Psychonauts too.
Oh, yeah. Fans kept the flame alive for years. Online chatter, petitions. Eventually, crowdfunding made the sequel happen. It finally came out in 2021.
That's amazing. Proof that fans can actually make things happen.
Definitely. A strong community can really change a game's fate.
Makes you wonder about other games that didn't get that chance. Okay, Grim Fandango. The script calls it a masterpiece.
Which many agree it is.
But it says it almost killed the point-and-click genre in '98 because sales were so bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty dramatic claim in the script.
Ah,
Sold like soggy cereal, I think was the quote.
soggy cereal. Ouch. So critical acclaim but no buyers. Was the genre just dying or...
Probably a mix. The script does mention point-and-clicks were fading a bit, but maybe Grim Fandango itself, with its unique Day of the Dead style and maybe slower pace, just wasn't what the mainstream wanted them.
But the fans didn't care about mainstream.
Not at all. The script says they kept it alive through, well, let's just say unofficial sharing.
Ah, right. Piracy and stuff.
And just talking about it, writing about how cool the art was, the story. They kept the memory going.
Until the remaster in 2014.
Exactly. That brought it back into the light, found a whole new audience. Now people really appreciate it.
It's wild how fan effort, even the unofficial kind, can preserve a game. Okay, next. Ico. PlayStation 2. Poor sales again.
So poor. The script says Sony nearly shut down the whole team.
Whoa, that close.
Yeah. Really highlights the risks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But even though it didn't sell, its vibe, that haunting atmosphere.
He was influential.
Hugely. The script points out it directly inspired Shadow of the Colossus, which is a big hit.
So its legacy was more creative than commercial initially.
Kind of. And now, looking back, people see Ico for what it was. The script says it's worshipped as a hidden gem.
Sometimes it takes time or seeing its influence elsewhere to really appreciate something, huh?
It seems like it. Art isn't always immediately understood.
Okay, this next one is nuts. Beyond Good and Evil. The script says it sold 50 copies. 50.
Yeah, the script definitely emphasizes extreme initial failure.
Yeah.
Whether it was literally 50 or just hyperbole for almost none, the point
It
is
bombed. Hard.
hard. But the fans, the few who found it were incredibly dedicated. Petitions, online campaigns, they just wouldn't let it die.
And it worked. After how long?
15 years. Ubisoft eventually listened, greenlit a sequel, and now there's talk of a Netflix show.
15 years. That's some serious fan power. Just unwavering belief.
It really is. Shows that a small, passionate core can sometimes make a huge difference in the long run. Keeps the IP alive.
Incredible. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Okami. Gorgeous game, right? That Sumi art style.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But again, the script says it was kind of ignored back in 2006 when it first came out.
Why do you think that was? Too different visually.
Maybe. Sometimes something that unique artistically takes a while for people to get used to or appreciate fully. It didn't fit the mold.
But it found its footing later.
Yeah, through HD remasters.
Yeah.
They made it accessible on newer platforms, cleaned it up.
And now everyone calls it a must-play.
Pretty much. Sometimes just getting the game in front of people again, looking its best, is all it takes. Presentation matters.
Good point. Okay, now for something completely different. Katamari Damacy.
Haha, yeah. Pure wonderful madness.
Rolling a sticky ball, picking up trash, then cars, then buildings. The script calls the premise pure madness. How do you even market that?
Right, it's so out there. But that absurdity, that was its magic weapon.
It worked?
Totally. The script says it became a huge hit, especially with college students. It was just fun, chaotic, different.
It became a meme factory.
Oh, yeah. Its weirdness made it super shareable online. That definitely helped its cult status. It transcended the game itself.
Okay, last one in this batch. Rule of Rose. Horror game. Sounds like it ran into some trouble.
Big trouble. The script says it was considered so disturbing that stores actually pulled it from shelves.
Pulled it. Wow, what
Yeah.
was so disturbing?
Now, themes involving children, cruelty, it pushed some buttons, clearly.
Yeah.
Major controversy.
But did that kill it?
Ironically, no. The script points out that the controversy made it kind of infamous. Horror fans started treating it like forbidden treasure.
So the banned aspect actually made people want it more.
Seems like it for a certain crowd. Bad press created this mystique, fueled the cult following. Strange how that works, isn't it?
Definitely. Okay, so that covers a lot of individual games, but the source material also talks about the fans themselves, right? Fan labor.
Yes, and this is crucial. Sometimes the fans don't just keep the memory alive, they actively fix or finish the games.
Like with Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, KOTOR 2.
Mm.
The script says it came out rushed and buggy.
Yeah, really rushed. Missing plot points, tons of glitches. A lot of people were disappointed at launch, even though the core was good.
So what did the fans do?
Modder stepped in. They spent years digging through code, finding unfinished content, fixing bugs. They created the restored content mod.
Wow.
And now, a lot of people say you have to play with that mod. It basically finishes the game the way the developers probably intended.
That's incredible dedication. It's like volunteer post-launch development.
Pretty much. And a similar thing happened with Vampire, the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Another beloved but buggy launch.
Infamously buggy. And the developer, Troika, went bankrupt right after release. Looked like a dead end.
But the fans again.
Yep. Fan patches kept coming out year after year, fixing things, making it playable, even adding stuff. That sustained effort is why it's considered a goth RPG legend today.
Without the fans, it might just be a forgotten, broken game.
Very likely. And it's not always fixing bugs. Sometimes it's about access. Think Mother 3.
Right, the sequel to EarthBound. Never officially released outside Japan, the script says.
Never. Despite fans begging Nintendo for years.
No.
So the fans just translated it themselves.
Yeah.
A massive, high-quality English translation project. Made by fans, for fans.
They translated the entire game. That's a huge job.
Monumental. But it made the game a global hit, unofficially. Shows how much people wanted it and the lengths they'd go to share it.
And sometimes the companies do eventually listen to that kind of passion, right?
Sometimes. The script mentions Sega reviving Nights into Dreams and Panzer Dragoon, likely because fans just kept asking, kept showing their love for those old titles.
So persistent fan demand can work. It might just take a while.
Exactly. It's not always a lost cause.
But some things Some things do stay lost, I guess. Or unrevived.
The script mentions PT.
Ah, PT. Yeah, the playable teaser for Silent Hills. That one still hurts for a lot of people.
It was just a demo, wasn't it? Guy made a huge splash.
Huge, terrifying, innovative. Then Konami canceled the main game and pulled the demo from the store. Just gone.
Ouch. So what do fans do now?
They keep it alive however they can, emulation, remakes. The script notes, they just refuse to let it be forgotten, even though it's technically dead.
Shows the impact even a fragment of a game can have. The script also had some listener examples, right? Personal cult finds.
Yeah, those were great. Really capture that personal discovery angle. There's one called Tulip.
What was that about? Collecting kisses in a weird town. The description was peak cult energy. Sounds about right.
Aha! Definitely sounds like a cult classic.
Yeah.
What else?
Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. Another commercial flop, apparently. But the script says it has fans who claim it literally changed their lives. That's intense. Shows how deep these connections can go beyond sales numbers.
Yeah, finding a game that just clicks with you personally, even if it's niche.
Exactly. And the last one mentioned was Eternal Darkness. Sanity's Requiem.
Oh, the one with the sanity effects. I remember hearing about that. Messing with your save file.
Yeah. Fake error messages, pretending to delete saves. The script called it traumatizing but addictive.
Traumatizing but addictive.
Yeah.
Sums up some cult experiences, maybe.
Could be. It shows how taking big risks, even unsettling ones, can create really memorable, obsessed fans.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big picture here? What defines these cult classics?
Well, like the script suggests, they're often flawed, often weird, but they're deeply loved, passionately cherished by the people who find them. And it proves that sales aren't everything, right?
Not at all. Impact isn't always measured in units sold.
And the script ends on a nice note, encouraging people to look beyond the big hits.
Yeah, explore the weird corners. You might find your own hidden gem, your own, I don't know, the next Undertale or something.
Exactly. Keep an open mind. Some of the best stuff is off the beaten path.
So a final thought for everyone listening, something to chew on maybe. Think about other things, not just games, books, movies, music.
Do they have cult classics too?
Yeah. What makes certain things resonate so deeply with a smaller group, even if they never hit the big time? And think about your own cult classics. What are those special, maybe slightly obscure things you absolutely love, and why?
Definitely something interesting to ponder.
Yeah.
What makes your weird cousin keep talking about that one specific